home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, is that better, Pilk?
Yeah, the music's down in the background. I can hear the people.
Does that work?
I can.
All
I can
right.
hear you. Thank you to the people at Tiebreakers.
We're here at Tiebreakers, and we've got a new stage, got some new background. Looks very good here. Thanks for being with us. Patrick Johnson Show on this Game Week Monday, and we're going to begin our run of programs originating on Mondays from Tiebreakers, who's also a great sponsor, not only of Inside Pirate Athletics, which comes your way at 6 o'clock tonight, but also of IBX Media and 94.3 The Game of the PJ Show. Also, we have for you tonight Panther Talk. Will be heard this season on 94.3. Debuted a couple weeks ago, but it will follow the ECU Coaches Show and Inside Pirate Athletics. So that is what is going on. In fact, Jim Szoke is going to join us. Pilk just got word a little bit ago that Tony Haynes with the Wolfpack Sports Network will join us tomorrow on the show. We will talk to him at a certain time, Pilk. A certain time. And then be live on the show tomorrow. Did Pilk get the subliminal message, William Grover? William Grover's back, by the way.
Yeah, after quite a long hiatus, it feels weird to be behind the mic again.
What have you been doing this summer?
Concrete. A lot of concrete work.
Pilk, do you believe that William Grover poured concrete this summer? That is what his claim is.
I do. He was texting me during the year. I've seen the pictures.
He looks a little swole. I'm not going to – you look a little more swole than you did last year.
Yeah. He's been playing a lot of golf, too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think golf is necessarily a muscle-building sport.
Right.
But maybe it helped. Maybe it contributed.
Did you take any strokes off your game?
Maybe one. I'm not quite phenomenal.
Okay. Speaking of golf and phenomenal golfers, I saw Brian Mull. I talked to Brian Mull today. And he wanted to come on this week. But, we have limited shows this week. The runway's not very – we'll be here today and tomorrow and then Friday because we're preempted by Coach Logan. All those great stories on Wednesday. He'll be on 5 to 7. And then the pregame will be on from 4 to 6. But we are going to have Rose football on Thursday night. Right now they're scheduled to play. And the game is not at 6, it's at 7. And it is going to be on 102.7. A lot of these high schools play on Thursday nights. It's a little crazy town, do you think, to play on Thursday if you could adjust it, but they are.
Thursday during an ECU football game. There's also an ECU home soccer match during the ECU football game. Like, who's making these schedules, man?
But here's another thing that's happening that is not the reason these high schools do this is because of Labor Day, and they just don't draw crowds on Fridays on Labor Day. People are taking off.
That
for the
makes
weekend.
sense. But
so I did a game with Sonny Sunholder, Jay Sunholder, and Madison Little and myself for the TV station up in Raleigh. Apex and Cary played. They played at the Wake Med Soccer Park, which really those people were first class. We did, the live telecast up there. And Pilk, they had like 6,000 people at that game on Saturday. It was a great environment.
Wow.
Great environment. I think they ought to try to play more games in those little boutique stadiums. It was just really, really very cool. And that's where I guess the Carolina Courage play their soccer. You know who I saw?
Who?
The great Cy Seymour.
Cy? Making an appearance. He drove all the way to the big city?
Well, here's what was happening. There was they have all these auxiliary fields up there at that complex, which are really nice fields. And they were having this huge high school soccer event. And so Cy was there because the New Bern Bears were there. And Cy's son, Todd, coaches the New Bern Bears. I've not been able to talk Cy into coming back yet. I was working on it. Let me see if I can show this picture, Joe. Here we go. There we go. Right there for the vast video audience. There it is. Me and Cy Seymour with his beard.
Look at that.
Looking good, old Silas Berry is, isn't it? All right. Got Szoke coming up in a few minutes. A lot has changed. Actually, nothing's changed, William. But here's what is happening now on the program. We have a segment called the Top 5 at 5. And would you like to maybe be a part of it today?
I would love to be a part of it. I'm not sure what the specific topics are, but hopefully I can contribute.
I wouldn't bank on it. All right, here is the Top 5 at 5 right now. Hit it, Pilk.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
I lost the list. All right, we don't have sound effects because Pilk sleeps on the job. So I usually have to press the sound effect button for you.
Do you
I
have
asked
them
for
on
sound
you?
effects.
No, I don't have them on me.
Oh, okay.
I don't have them on me.
That's a shame.
Number
We do a
one.
countdown.
Dun, 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 dun.
And we start with number 1.
Number 1.
All right, what do we got?
Dave Doran says that this one is personal. It was a press conference this past Friday.
We know that game day is entertainment for some people, but for us, it's personal, and we need our 12th man to be there with us and on your feet and key moments of the game when our defense is on the field.
You know, I think whenever the coach goes fast and furious mode, like family loyalty, what is it? Family loyalty and vendettas, something like that.
Something along those lines.
Then you know. But wait a minute, I thought this wasn't one of those situations, Double D. I thought this was just
Last time it wasn't even a rivalry.
correct, but now it's personal. And if something's personal, that means in relation, there's a rivalry. You don't take something personally and there not be a little bit of a rivalry.
I think it's so personal this time because he was so embarrassed last time. He's thinking.
And that's the penetrating insight that we have missed for months on this show.
I know that's not true. Go ahead and hit the whammy sound effect.
I love giving William a hard time. I love William. William figured out our technical snafu.
He did.
No thanks to you.
I know.
All right.
Do you expect me to figure out?
Do you have any thoughts on any of this?
I mean, look, it's personal because if he loses, he's probably getting his rear end fired. That's why it's personal at this point. It's the fact that whether or not he can put food on the table for his family.
It's biological.
Yeah.
I think he's not going to have a hard time putting food on it. I think.
But you know what I mean. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But no, it's personal. I think it's part of the way his team acted. But yeah, he knows.
All right. Top 5 at 5. This is number 2.
Number 2. Dun, 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 dun. There's your sound effect, Patrick.
This is not the sound effect, by the way. This is Phil doing a sound effect.
It's impressive. He should be in the studio.
He is.
All right.
All right. What do you got, Phil?
Patrick's boy, Tommy Fleetwood, wins a golf
Fairway
tournament.
Jesus.
He wins the FedEx Cup playoffs. He wins $10 million for whacking a ball in a gopher hole, as Robin Williams would say. And even this was after Patrick said this about him 14 days ago, almost to the minute, 14 days ago.
Yep.
Patrick Johnson said this.
So there's no bigger choke artist in golf right now than Tommy Fleetwood.
And you were right.
I was at the time. But like anything in life, your views and opinions evolve. My opinions evolved of William over the years.
That's because
And
he
so
lost the title of
things
intern,
evolve.
so you allowed him to talk to you. You
That's
found
right.
out he was
He was
actually a
allowed
nice
to talk
guy.
to me then. No, I do think this. He had the best golfer to not win title, right?
And he has now lost that.
He has lost that by gaining quite a bit. And here's also what I would have to say. I think you will now see Tommy Fleetwood. Who is the golfer kind of late in their career, went on maybe like a little bit of a Duval kind of run, maybe where he wins a bunch now, kind of got the monkey off his back. I'm happy for Tommy Fleetwood. Fairway Jesus. I didn't watch a single stroke of it. I listened to it in the car.
Fair enough.
And then I listened to the post game because this is my middle-aged whiteness. I love listening to golf on radio, and so I was streaming it in my vehicle, and I was listening to the post game. And Greenville's Will McKenzie was on the post game. He was the analyst.
Nice.
So shout out Willie Mack. All right, why don't you do number 3, the sound effect?
Okay, number 3.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not good, but not bad.
All righty.
David Horn is in the building, by the way.
Oh, that's the guy you need doing sound effects. You talk about a radio voice.
I know, going through a rat nest of cables. All right, go ahead. Yes.
Venus Williams will take the court tonight at 7 o'clock on Arthur Ashe Arena, playing Karolina Muchova. The 45-year-old will be competing in her first major main draw in singles since 2023, when she was 43 years old. She'll also be the oldest singles player at the U.S. Open since 1981.
How old is she?
45.
45. You know, what are the expectations, Bill? I mean, this is more in your look. I think it's great that she's doing this. I think it's awesome. I know about it. You know about it, but it just doesn't seem like it's gotten the big play. And maybe it's just because I haven't been paying attention, but it would seem like this would be played up considerably more. In an era where we are willing to give people who don't deserve their flowers for doing just minor. Here's someone who actually is the GOAT in her sport, in her vocation.
Her sister's the GOAT.
Oh, I'm thinking of Serena. I'm thinking of Serena.
Venus.
My bad.
Venus has still won 2 U.S. Opens and 5 Wimbledons.
Well,
I mean, she's
Venus
still a
was
7-time
really,
major
really
champion.
good before Serena went crazy.
Yeah.
But then she kind of, I don't know, would you say tailed off?
Yeah, she did. But to answer your question, though, about the expectations, the expectations are
This
she
seems
goes
like
out there.
this would be a bigger deal, though.
It should be. You know, they're talking about it on the tennis broadcast. You know, they started yesterday, and they were talking about it, but you're not seeing anything about it on social media. You're not hearing anything about it from the national media. And this is a big thing. I mean, this is a celebrated U.S. icon who is doing something that not many people have done. And, you know, I think the expectation.
So this is more like your favorite band reuniting.
Yeah,
She's
it
not
is.
gonna win it.
She's not going to win. I mean, Mukova is the number 11 player in the world. You know, she had a solid summer. And, you know, I think for Venus, the expectations are don't beat yourself, right? Mukova is younger, is more fit.
Well, she'll be smarter than anybody out there.
She will. But when I say don't beat yourself, I mean, limit the unforced errors. You know, look, she's going to get broke on her service games. It's not like she's going to be forcing a tie break in every set. I mean, things aren't going to be extremely pretty, but just don't go out there and miss shots. And I think that's the thing, is look like a professional, and I think she will. You know, she's played in some tournaments in the last few years, and it's not that she's been bad. She's just old.
All right, what else you got, Bill?
What number are we on? 4?
Number 4.
Quattro. The Commanders locked down Terry McLaurin, 3 years,
Commandos.
$96 million. He had been wanting to be traded, all this other stuff. And sure enough, 3 years, $96 million. Money talks, baby. Money talks.
30 some odd million a year while you will stay. If they ever find, think about what he's accomplished with no stability at quarterback. How many passes has he caught from different QBs?
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's got to be 7 or 8, right? I mean, I'm sure we can sit here and do the math.
But I mean, if you broke it down, you know?
Yeah. And I mean,
I wonder
really
how
until
many that
last
is.
year, not really a competent quarterback until a year ago.
Right. And if that remains the case and stays competent, then what will happen? What will occur? He'll be worth every penny.
He will.
That $96 million.
And hey, they can't double team this year. They got to worry about Debo as well.
All right, what we got? Number 5.
Number 5, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who we know William doesn't really like, hit his 49th home run of the season last night, making him the all-time leader for catchers home runs in a single season.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a big deal. Personally.
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, there have been power hitting catchers, but just catchers, normally it's like, hey, go out there, bat 250, hit 12, 15 bombs, and we're happy as long as you can call a good game behind the plate.
The day of the defensive catcher is over. It would appear with Cal Raleigh. His dad, by the way, coached at ECU briefly.
He did?
He did. He was on one of LeClair's
staff.
Yeah. One of the early LeClaire staffs. I think who does he pass? Do we know who he passed, Pilk?
Salvador Perez.
Okay.
2021 hit 48.
Okay. So I mean,
don't bag on Salvi. Don't bag on Salvi. Williams next to you. I can't protect you from 5 miles away.
I'm not going to bang on Salvi. I'm just saying, this seems like a very big deal to me. And I thought today, so on the morning show on Talk of the Town, we had Johnny Bench on. It was an interview from yesterday. And many people consider Johnny Bench, especially of a certain generation, to be the greatest catcher of all time.
Those people would be correct.
And you don't get a lot of argument with that. I mean, I'm sure you could argue. But you don't.
I'm not arguing.
But you don't get a ton of. But I mean, to a certain generation.
To a certain generation, for sure, he was. He just brought a big red machine. That was monumental for them.
Yeah, but that includes more than his offensive prowess.
Yes.
So I think this is a huge deal. Who would we say? I guess for me it would be okay. Look at Sandberg and Jeff Kent, what they did for second baseman, as far as that became a power spot years ago. What A-Rod did at short became a power spot.
Third.
Those just weren't slick fielding. Well, when he was playing short.
That's true.
Before he moved.
Now those positions are filled with power hitters.
Correct. So could this be the new wave?
It could be. I think it's progressive for the sport. A baseball traditionalist like myself, I prefer to see the guy back there who's going to gun down runners, frame pitches. But this new ABS system, framing pitches is a thing of the past. You might as well have somebody back there that can hit bombs for you.
It's got to be a productive spot in the lineup. But you know what I'm saying? Like where A-Rod was before he did move to third, he was the rarity. He was the power hitting shortstop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're a good point, because it used to be first baseman and outfielders.
It was your
Those
guys
were your
on
guys
the
that hit
corners and the outfielders.
Yeah.
It was everybody on the corners. Everybody up the middle were your speedsters and your athlete. They would steal you bases, hit you doubles. Or single and steal you a base, which was like a double, right?
Can be. If you don't get called.
Hey, I'm paying you to get on first. I'm not paying you to get thrown out second.
That's true. Good line, Pilk. Good line, Pilk. All right. That will wrap it for this version of Top 5. What do you think of the Top 5?
I like it. I think this is a great new addition. It's very engaging. You can bring in more people. I remember you said that you would bring in people who are in the studio with Bill on any given day and just let them chime in. I like it.
Well, you get to do it again in a week.
Sounds good to me.
Are you going to be back here in a week?
I reckon if the duty calls.
He does not sound real thrilled about it. No, I'm glad you were here. If you were not here, what did I tell you? So we need William here.
Yeah, William said
something would go wrong, and William would fix. And you know what William did today when something went wrong?
William fixed it. We'll let Dr. No know.
Fixed it. You got to tell Dr. No he fixed it. He fixed it. All right, big night here on the flagship. PJ Show now. We've got coming up at 6 Inside Pirate Athletics, and then at 7 o'clock Panther Talk with Jim Szoke and company. And speaking of Szoke, we'll hear from him coming up right after these words.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed, meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Tired of the 1-800?
Already coming in, we have some great giveaway items tonight here, including this, if you're with us on the vast video audience, this gorgeous hat. William, what do you think of this hat here?
It's a nice hat.
It's a good looking East Carolina University, got a little rope on it. Gray, it looks good. And then this really sweet little packaging for an Anson belt and buckle, maybe just a belt. There's a buckle. It's like a what'd you call this, William? Like a cloth kind of bag?
Cloth, burlap.
Like a burlap bag, exactly. Boy, William's bringing the heat today. You know, I think William was out there this summer, Phil, going through the concrete pouring, and he thought of all these great things. Is what I'm thinking.
Reading at the source at the same time.
Was that right?
Yeah.
You had to do something. All right. We got Jim Szoke, that is. Hello, Szoke. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, Patrick. How's the swag bag?
Well, like we said, we got this nice hat, nice looking East Carolina University hat for giveaway tonight, and an Anson belt and buckle. It's got a little skull and crossbones on the buckle. The Anson belt thing's pretty sharp. We're giving those away during the course of the show tonight. So if you're listening, come on out, and you can hang out here, and you have a chance to win some fabulous door prizes. Coach Harrell, Tegan Wilk will be here, Anthony Smith. It'll be a big time. And after you listen to the show on 94.3 The Game, if you're not here in person or watch it on the WNCT stream, you can hear Jim Szoke, Panther Talk on 94.3 The Game this year, and started a couple of weeks ago. So, Szoke, here we are. Football's upon us. I was down at the coast a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday, and I was driving driving back, and I flipped it on to the Panthers affiliate down there in the Working Man's Beach, Surf City. And I heard your commentary on the game in Houston. And if you could have traded places with me at the beach, it sounded like you would have done it that day.
You know preseason football well. It's like it's an important exercise and getting your roster together, but yeah, it can be something when you don't have starters out there for 2 passing plays and not much else. But it's all part of the process. You know, we're down to getting actually roster cuts are beginning to roll in and getting ready for the first game against Jacksonville.
Yep. Plenty of time to talk about that. You'll be in Raleigh on Thursday. And I understand you're working with Bays. Is that true?
Yes, Bays, Andrew Bays, and we'll be down there and ready to pick up where we left off. NC State all over again.
Bays will work with me on Friday in the Raleigh market for the Friday night rival. So I will try not to bring his level down to my level. So when you work with him again, it's a high quality, high caliber experience for you. So I'll do my best.
Up. No, that's a step up. It's a step up, and you know it. But he's
child, please.
Hope he doesn't.
Hope
he doesn't lose his. Hope he doesn't lose his voice Thursday in the NC State game.
Well, that's the risk we're running by doing this. So, all right. So it's upon us here. It's the matchup. You know, the big news today was one of the big handicappers released a line, and then all of a sudden the NC State people are all oh, something's amiss, something's wrong here. And because the line jumped 2 or 3 points. So, you know, I think a lot of that is based on there's just so many questions, both sides defensively, but certainly with East Carolina, I think there's a lot of questions defensively right now. Jim, do you agree with that assessment?
I think it's unknown. Yeah, I think that's it. The questions is the right way to put it because you don't know till they get out there. There's so much change with every team. I think ECU's got 47 new players and NC State's got 40 new players. And it's that time of year where that's why things like the American Conference not doing a preseason media poll is like because it's so hard to know who's going to be really that good and who's going to be in the middle and who's going to be at the top. So I think to me, I wouldn't read too much into any of that. Nobody's played a game yet. We don't know. So you can only forecast a little bit because there's so little to go on information-wise. But we got both head coaches coming back. We've got for ECU, the quarterback coming back with a great offensive coordinator and a really well-thought-of defensive coordinator and enough names to remember from last year that it'll be good. But overall, in the secondary, I think there's a lot of change outside of, say, Jamarlee Riddle. Kind of every level. You got a couple names, Sam Danka, Damian Wilson back, Day-Day, and then you got Raheem Craig, Lampley up front. But overall, yeah, a lot of changes on defense. We'll see how it pans out.
The quarterbacks make the biggest difference in this game, particularly early, with Bailey, who can just has fabulous vision, can make the throws, and can obviously hurt you with his legs. I think Caton Hauser, we know, when he gets on a roll in this offense, he'll have a greater grasp of it. He can make the throws. And I really like the wrinkle in the bowl game where Caton ran, used his legs to elude some trouble, but also generate some situations where he became an offensive weapon. So I'm really anxious to see how these quarterbacks will match up and how both will have made strides in the case of Wilson from a freshman to a sophomore. But in the case of Caton, a then P5 guy who, let's face it, spent the first half of the season last year watching from the sidelines. And once he got going, man, he put up some fantastic numbers.
He really did, yeah. You mentioned him running in that bowl game, 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, those are good running back numbers. And you knew he could run. He's athletic. But, I think you want to be smart where you do it, obviously, and take care of the body. It's a long season. Don't put yourself in peril. But the way the ECU Pirates ran in that bowl game, 326 yards. Of course, Rajay, 220 of those yards in the game. That's the formula. If you can run the ball, everything else works. And if ECU can come out there with that stable of running backs again in this game, that's going to take a lot of pressure off the pass game. And then the pass game, of course, can gouge you. And a lot of the weapons are back there, too, and added to it in the receivers room. So I think ECU can score points, and it might be something where, as you said, with the defense, maybe they got to score a little bit more to make sure you're outscoring the other team as far as what they're going to put up on the other side, possibly. But I think it'll be an entertaining game with both quarterbacks, the way you said, with Bailey out there. Hollywood Smothers back from the bowl game last year, Noah Rogers, Wesley Grimes. It's going to be a cool matchup, I think.
You mentioned the running game for the Pirates. That's going to be key, and we'll see what happens with the offensive line. I know in talking to Coach Harrell the last couple of weeks, he feels there's 7 guys that kind of rotate. There may be 8, But you look at what London Montgomery can do as the potential home run hitter. Marlon Gunn, you hope, will be rugged and be the guy that can get you the tough yards. And then you mix in Parker Jenkins, who, when healthy, Parker Jenkins has been a productive, if not prolific, running back. So, how do you feel about that trio going into the season, Jim, from your perspective?
Yeah, I think the way you named them and rattled them off is probably about the order for now, which is subject to change. But yeah, London Montgomery, I think, showed explosiveness. Marlon Gunn is your big thumper. And then you've got Jenkins coming in, who had a really good freshman year at Houston, and they had the coaching change and wasn't used as much last year. But we've seen before, guys come in here and they get an opportunity, and they, in this case, can literally run with it. And maybe at some point, DeJuan Lacey, he did really well at the JUCO level last year, if called upon. And I think, the other thing we have to talk about, too, is, Mike Wright, what he can do in certain packages maybe during the course of the season as a quarterback who can throw, especially when he was at Vanderbilt prior to being at Northwestern. Did some good things throwing the ball when he got the chance to start. But obviously, he's a big guy, 6'4", who can run and bring another look at that if maybe you got a short yardage situation, red zone situation where you want to mix it up with Mike Wright and their quarterback. So I think John David Baker is going to have a lot of things at his disposal. I did the Pirate Club kickoff luncheon last week. Asked John David Baker. Now you got Caton back for another year, and a lot of guys are returning. Can you take it to another level, 2.0, 3.0 from what you did last year? Absolutely. So I think we will see a lot of new wrinkles and take it to another dimension with this offense.
Jim Szoke, who will be heard here on 94.3 The Game a bunch this week. Later on tonight, Panther Talk at 7 o'clock following Inside Pirate Athletics, as they'll be talking the Carolina Panthers later on this evening here on our airwaves. And then Jim will be a part of the network coverage again this season as the football voice. Szoke will be on at 6 o'clock coming up from Carter Finley Stadium this weekend, or this Thursday, as the Pirates and Pack meet in another installment of their rivalry. They have played again where they played or have played before where they played the last game and then the first game a few years ago. That was what the deal with the game with Virginia Tech was hurricaned out. And they just kind of on the fly scheduled a early December game. The Pack just rolled in that one. It was pretty rough. And then turned around and played the beginning of the next year, which was Mike Houston's first year. So that our first game in his first year. We've got Jim Szoke here with us. Jim, we talked about some questions defensively. Who on defense, though, do you feel like will be able to be a difference maker, especially early on?
I think, Jamarli Riddle's probably got the most star potential out of the group based on what he did last year with 3 interceptions as a freshman. So he's your leading returning tackler based on the guys that are gone from last year's team. So I think Jamarli Riddle, even though he's just a sophomore, is going to be asked to kind of step in and kind of lead the secondary. It'll be interesting up front to see the two guys on the edges like J.D. Lampley and Raheem Craig. I think they're going to be able to put some pressure on the quarterback. You always have to stop the run. So getting Xavier McIver back for a second stint with the team with Zion Wilson, that's going to be key because you got to be strong up the middle, and that means Day Wilson at linebacker there. So if they can contain the run, those are going to be the kind of things that are going to really make them better. And then to me, like I said, because there's so much unknown, except Tegan Wilk coming back for a second time, to see what I'm interested to see what Rasheen Reason looks like at a corner, Jonathan Jean coming in from Rice at a nickel. Jordy Lowry from Western Carolina coming in at the corner spot in that secondary, seeing what they can do. I mean, practice is one thing, but you got to carry practice over into the games. And beginning on Thursday, we get to see what that looks like because it's a whole different ball game when you're out there under the lights playing versus in practice. So it'll be really cool to see what these guys can do and step in right away.
As a WB Hall of Famer out in Charlotte, you know that Charlotte is, kind of has, even though it's a pro town, there's still a lot of collegiate fans and fires burn out there in the Queen City. So I'd just be interested in getting your perspective. Obviously this is a big deal in Wolfpack Nation. This is a big deal here in Greenville and Pirate Nation. And I know it's a lot of UNC and to a degree Duke fans out in Charlotte, Duke basketball at least. But what's the feel when you kind of hear from Wolfpack fans, statewide on this game Thursday? And obviously you've heard from Pirate fans, I'm sure.
I think, for for both teams, it means a lot for different reasons. I think for ECU to win this game to open the season would heighten expectations even more. So that to get one on the road like this to begin the season would really be a tone setter with a really challenging schedule coming up. And for NC State, they've had to live with the fact that ECU, who they kind of consider their little brother, beat them, and they want to get that chance to get back at them in this game. So I think that's a revenge game for NC State. You hear the way Dave Doran talks about it. So here in Charlotte, like you said, here's an example of how much there's different college fan interest out here. I'm sitting at the Panther Stadium right now, looking out at the field, talking to you, and they're getting ready for the Duke Mayo's Classic, which is Charlotte 49ers and App State Friday night happening here. And they've already got the banners and stuff going up for that. So it's just such a fragmented part of the Carolinas when you get to Charlotte, because you have people of all different fan interests here. App State, Charlotte, obviously Clemson, South Carolina, all but along Tobacco Road. But there's a bunch of ECU fans here. There's a good number of NC State fans here too. But I think for ECU, if they could pile on another one to start this season, would really be a tone setter for what's coming up in 25.
About in-state schools playing one another. I know there's some talk about legislative involvement, with sharing of the taxable income from the sports gambling and mobile sports betting. That in order to do this, then, these institutions need to play one another in state in non-conference games and what have you. What's your feel on that? I mean, obviously, this is, and these were some comments that were made today by Blake here, and I'll ask him to kind of echo them tonight. But I mean, from a economical standpoint, this is a win for everybody involved.
Yeah, I heard Blake's comments about it being like the top dollar as far as what tickets were going for out of all the matchups on Thursday night, and that's exciting. And it's like the Pirate fans we already know show up, and so they've used all the allotment of tickets they got for NC State. They're going to use all the allotment they got for Coastal Carolina in week 3 going to Conway. So they travel well. That's what's exciting about college football when it's regional like that, where it's accessible to the fans to go. And makes for a better environment. It feels like traditional college football where the games are big because you've got fans represented from both sides. And when ECU's at home, same way. I know Campbell's a smaller school, and NC State will play Campbell too. For Campbell to get that opportunity in the other direction to come back and see a game at ECU. So I think it's great. And, it's a nice spread out thing where you're doing stuff like BYU, which will be nationally ranked, coming in to Greenville. To hit some national games, you want to test yourself against things that are a little bit out of your geography. But I think by and large, when you get a chance to schedule things that are more regional, doesn't have to necessarily be right in the state of North Carolina, but in the region, I think that's huge. It's good for football, and it's good for fans, and they can get to it. And obviously, you see the excitement level is much higher when you see it in that way. Especially again, the American Conference is good football, but it's spread out. We all know it's a lot of Florida, it's a lot of Texas, and a lot of other places. So it's great to have some of these games that are closer to home.
East Carolina State. Cash in the checks in Bowie Street. Cash in the checks. Jim Szoke with us here. Not huge checks, Jim, but they're checks nonetheless. So
it all counts. It all adds up.
It all adds up. All right, Jim, give me what you think's going to happen here on Thursday night. How's it going to go down?
Been this way for 31 years with the Panthers and now 3 years with ECU. I'm always picking my team, so I think ECU goes in and they pull a nice little upset, and it wouldn't be the biggest upset. I think the point spread makes it seem like more tilted game in favor of NC State, but we just saw it happen last year in the bowl game, and ECU can do that again. It's a different collection of players, no doubt, but I think Blake Harrell's got something going here. And just if you play sound football, if you don't turn the ball over, and part of why the Wolfpack got back in that military bowl game was a couple of turnovers. Take care of the ball, do your things the way you should with the penalties and the turnovers, run the ball, and just be good enough on defense. And again, we'll see how these guys get out there. Maybe we'll find out we got a bunch of real studs out there on defense that we just are going to learn their names as the season goes on even more. But I think this is a game that ECU has a chance to win for sure. And for NC State, just because they're in a Power 4 conference, doesn't give them any entitlement to a victory or anything else. And I think I didn't see what the polls were, but I think they're probably projected somewhere in the middle of the pack of the ACC. So I think for ECU, got a big fan base going up there. You got an offense that can sling it, that can run it, a defense that can hopefully hold these guys in check. Would love to see the Pirates finish it off and get this win to get the season rolling the right way.
All right, Jim. I know you're looking forward to being back at Carter Finley again, and you know what else I think you should look forward to, Jim? In a couple weeks, if you want to go down, you can get free food in Conway. I don't know if you're aware, you can get free concessions. So if you get a break, you can run down to the concessions and get whatever the hell you want for nothing.
I did hear that last year, which I think is a great idea. I love anything that favors the fans. So I think I might have to go be a fan for a little bit.
Free stale popcorn. What a world.
Popped last year and put it in the bag.
Well, there you go. All right, Jim. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you again. Nice to speak to you. Our great friend, Jim Szoke. All right, let's take a break, but we'll come back. I'll do a little quick song and dance here. And then I will send it to you back for the rest of the show. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
So let's come back and reset here for Tiebreakers, tell you what's going on tonight. And then you get something to eat, William. Are you excited?
Yeah, it is.
All right. We'll be back right after this.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
We're back. And I love them.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Okay, we are about to wrap it up here for Tiebreakers for a few minutes. Let's thank Jim Szoke for coming on. Great to have Szoke on.
It was good. I enjoyed my weekly 3 minutes. I get to catch up with him during the break. I haven't seen him since Media Day in Charlotte last month, so I hung out with Jim. But I got to hang out with him on Thursday.
So let's set up the rest of the week. Coming up tomorrow, we, of course, have Igo on at noon, and then I'll be on at 5. Tony Haynes will be our guest from the Wolfpack Sports Network. He recently announced that he'll be retiring after the football season from the broadcast biz, 30-plus year career, 28 of them with the Wolfpack Sports Network. Tony's a good guy, so we'll look forward to talking to him tomorrow. And get the NC State perspective. And then we will have the Logan Zone on Wednesday at 5. And then the pregame will be on, who's the title sponsor of the pregame this year, Bill?
We do not have one yet.
Okay. Your name here, your logo here, pregame show, Pirate Game Day Countdown. Are you renaming it? Or is
No,
it
it's still Pirate Game Day Countdown.
Okay. So that'll be going on at 4 o'clock from Raleigh, originating from Raleigh. And then we'll be back Friday for analysis and reaction of Pirate victory. What do you think of that, William Grove? How about that? All right. I don't know if you'll get a chance to make a prediction. So you have a bold prediction for us?
It will be not a super high scoring affair, but I'm going to go 27.
Wow. You have faith in the Pirate defense. Interesting.
Or lacking the
Could be that as well. All right. You're entitled to your opinion. No, I like your confidence. All right. Pilk will take you home after we say goodbye to you here and head into break. And when we return, we'll be back at the top of the hour. Well, Pilk will be here, but at the top of the hour, we'll be back with Inside Pirate Athletics from Tiebreakers. Some mood music going out, Pilk?
Yeah, it's changing it up.
Doesn't scream, get ready for football season.
It's the calm before the storm.
Screams somebody had their cat run over.
This is
what
the
it
Patrick's
screams.
leaving the show. That's what it is.
It's
we don't get to have you for the last 12 minutes.
Screams an old relative croaked is what it screams. All right, we're taking a timeout. David Horn wants me to test equipment, and we got to do that.
I'll see you in about 30 minutes, Patrick.
All right, sounds good, buddy. All right, Coco will wrap it up when we come back.
Cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get a huge offer when you trade. Then save big on a brand new Corolla, just $229 a month. Or get a Tacoma, just $319 a month. Secure your Toyota now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors, with locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Turn your car into cash at Greenville Toyota. Cash in your trade-in today. Then get new Camry just $249 a month, or drive a new RAV4 $319 a month. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show here on 94.3 The Game, Monday edition, as we are leading you into Inside Pirate Athletics live from Tiebreakers. The P-Man is testing out the equipment there with David Horn, our wonderful on-site technician for all ECU Sports Network fall events, including Pirate football. We might even get him to chime in on the pregame show a little bit on Thursday, but we'll wait and see. Speaking of Thursday, it's the Pirates and the Pack. First game of the season for East Carolina. Obviously, neither team played in week 0. A little different for ECU than it was a year ago. They faced Norfolk State in the first game. Norfolk State did actually play a week 0 contest. Therefore, the Pirates had a little film on the Spartans a year ago. No film on the Wolfpack, especially with a new offense and new defensive coordinator. Did ask Blake Harrell today in the press conference, how do they kind of turn this into a nameless, faceless opponent? Because let's be honest, for us, the fans and the media, it's East Carolina and NC State. For the boys playing the game, it is me versus the guy across from me, and Coach Blake Harrell talked about how they balance that leading into Thursday's contest.
You know, every time you turn on social media, you see something about the game, so it's hard to hide that from your players and make it a faceless opponent, as you mentioned. But I think, you know, our focus is always, we're going to prepare for our opponent. We're going to prepare for what they do. We're going to respect the heck out of them because they've done a great job throughout Coach Doran's time there. But we got to make it more about us.
It can be tough, though, leading up to harness those emotions because, you know, at the end of the day, you do know this one, I mean, it means a little more, right? And it won't be the only game this year that means a little more. BYU's going to roll into town if they start out 2-0, which we expect they would. They've got Stanford, who looked okay the other night against Hawaii, and then they've got an FCS team, I believe, and they're just outside the rankings right now. So they'll probably roll in, you know, with a number next to their name. Obviously, they could still very much win the Big 12 if they can get their quarterback situation figured out with the departure of Jake Retzloff. But that one will mean a little more. You know, obviously the Charlotte game will mean a little more. But, you know, when you are a player at the end of the day, it's tough to put those emotions aside because you do know at the end of the day it is me against the guy across from me. It is we versus them and or us versus them. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what logo is on the side of their helmet or what city their school is located in or whether or not you played against one of those guys in high school or teammates with one of them in high school. At the end of the day, it does not matter. And, you know, you get a little prep for this in high school. There's rivalry games, right? Everybody has a rival. That one game you look forward to. The student section is a little more packed out. But, you know, it's a little different when it's on a national stage. It's different when it's on national television. It's different when there's, you know, 15, 17 games being played across the entire country on Thursday night, and you're one of them. And let's be honest, a handful of them are just kind of ESPN Plus, you know, filler games, a couple, you know, FBS, FCS games there later in the night even. So, look, I think this team is in a good spot right now. They clearly were able to put those emotions aside at least well enough to come out victorious just, you know, 8 months ago when they beat NC State in the Military Bowl. But what an opportunity it would be for this Pirate program and for Coach Blake Harrell to start out 2-0 against the Wolfpack. You know, when Blake Harrell got the job, I think there was some differing opinions. I firmly thought he deserved it and done it everything, but then other people said, you know, he won the games he was supposed to win. Well, the unfortunate thing when they had to make that decision is he hadn't really played any games he wasn't supposed to win. So, you know, the decision had to be made. Well, he went out there and proved that he can win the big one early. He's 1-0 in the big games, and you know, he only has one loss as a head coach. So he's proven that he can do it. He's proven that he can lead young men and take them into battle. He did it successfully there in that Military Bowl, and what an opportunity it would be if this Pirate team can do it again. Interesting comment from Tegan Wilk. I asked him today, anybody who knows Tegan, man, the guy loves to stop the run, man. He loves to tackle. Yeah, he likes to play the ball in the air a little bit, but he loves to tackle. And I asked him about, facing a running quarterback, said a few more opportunities to maybe tackle the quarterback than you only have. And he's like, yeah, well, our goal is always to get the starter out. The best way to win is if you're facing the backup. And I don't think he meant that he's headhunting C.J. Bailey. No, I didn't take it that way, but it was just funny to hear it. It almost sounded like a baseball player talking about, like, we got to chase the starter out of the game and you want to get to the bullpen. That's kind of how he worded it. But, I mean, I'll admit, they want to rough him up. I mean, last year it felt like after they hit him a couple times, he did look a little more timid back there. And anytime, you can make a quarterback feel a little more timid, they're prone to making mistakes. And I definitely know that's what Tegan meant by his comments. He didn't mean that they're, trying to take him out. But it was just a little funny. I was kind of taken aback by it. I just thought he was going to give me, coach speak answer because, that's how they're trained to do. But he was like, no, man, we can – I want to get back there and hit him. So, okay. And we all know Tegan likes contact. If anybody on this team likes contact, it's Tegan Wilkes. So, it'll be fun. And we are now just over 72 hours away from kickoff. It is almost here. College football has officially begun as of this past Saturday. So that'll do it for us here on the Pastor Johnson Show. Stay tuned for Inside Pirate Athletics live from Tiebreakers. You'll hear from Blake Harrell and the P-Man next right here on 94.3 The Game, as part of the ECU Sports Network and on the IBX Media app.